Hey guys, just thought I'd do something unusual for once. Do a sort of 3-in-1 in-box review of 3 kits I've got here. They only are small, so if I did them individually it wouldn't even be worth doing a video. So I thought, well, why not do all 3 at once? So that's what I'm going to do, guys. As you can see, they're all from Tamiya. First off is the little US infantry set. Second is a Russian field car, which was actually modelled on the old Willys Jeep, called the Gaz 67B. And obviously you've got the 3.7 centimetre anti-tank gun pack 35-36 as well. So first off, what we're going to start with is this little set here. Now, these are quite handy for dioramas, and there is a diorama I'm thinking of doing at some stage in the future. Featuring these figures. In fact, it might go alongside either my Sherman or my what's the other tank I've got, Shafi, I think, possibly. As I say, they are quite small. I've got this sort of bargain deal for around about £5. The kit number on this one, if you're interested, is 350 500. Okay, so I'll just hold that up to the camera so you can just pause it in case you want to order one of these. Okay, there you go. As I say, they are very much posed as is on the box here. Again, it's the old familiar white box art from Tamiya, which is always beautifully illustrated. On the side you've got the side profiles here. Then you've got all the various unit badges you can use, okay, for their epaulets, etc. And then obviously the ranks that you can use as well, okay. And then on the back here you've got a guide to the uniform, and you can even use it as a medic or an MP if you should so wish. And it's just giving you a little sort of colour guide, okay. Inside, I mean, as I say, there's not a lot to it. If I just empty it out, it's a side-in opening box, obviously. Excuse the noise, I've got something on bid at the moment, which is looking rather promising, and it is a very rare dragon kit, so keep your fingers crossed, guys. I'll let you know more about that later. First off, you've got a little instruction sheet there, along with a range of other kits you can get in the Tamiya Armour range. And then on the back, you've got a guide to the various parts that go together, as you can see here. You got one guy with either one of 2 option of rifles, the other guy throwing a grenade, and then one with a Thompson machine gun, and then the last guy is with a flamethrower. So yeah, quite nice poses, I have to say, and it could look very good at a dio. So and the next thing you have, I mean, obviously on here you've got an illustration of how you could pose them in a scene, and maybe on a D-Day diorama, as you can see there. And then inside again you got all the parts guide. There's one there of the old set fully made up, and then obviously you can do it with a US Mini. There's another one you can get with a Willys Jeep, etc. So there you go. And then on the back, although these are in Japanese, actually colour guide to the uniform. But I'll probably do some book reference or something like that. So we'll have a quick look at the 2 sprues. You only get 2 sprues with this kit. Obviously you've got the stands there to stand them on if you want to use that, but obviously I won't be using that. And the detail in the actual rifles is rather good, as you can see there. Very nicely done. There's his backpacks. You are. I mean, I love the folds they've got on the back of this backpack here. It's really nicely done. I'll get that up closer to the camera, you can see. And then obviously you've got the helmets there. That's the first sprue. And this one you've got the flamethrower, which you can see there. Okay, all very nicely done. Up to me is normal standard. And then obviously here you've got the posed figures. Again, I really like the way they've caught the actual movement in the uniform. This is one of the better figure sets, I have to say. Even the facial features are not that bad. If I move it along, there's these other parts for the other two figures. And you've got another figure. Get it into the camera right here. I think he's the one holding the Thompson machine gun. But it's certainly very well moulded, guys. I mean, look at the back straps as well. Very nicely done. So that's that set, guys. I'm just going to pop that back in his box, along in the bag. It's not always easy getting them out. It's easy getting them out of the bag, but getting them back in sometimes can be a bit of a nightmare, needless to say. So that's the US infantry figure set done. Then we're going to move on to the GAZ. Which I have to say is a bit of a rarity these days, and when I saw it on Tim's Cheap Bits and Kits advertisement, I thought, I've got to snap that little beauty up. And as I say, it'll add to my Russian armour stash. Again, this actual vehicle was introduced around about 1943, and I think it first saw action in the field at Kursk, and was used in most theatres after that there on in for the remainder of the Second World War. As you can see, the figures again are on a familiar white box art. You got one guy holding a submachine gun with a trolley, which you can, I think, have towed on the back of the actual vehicle. Commander in there, and then he's obviously his driver. So there you go. Anyway, again, the kit number on this one, if I can find it, if you'll bear with me, guys, is 35201-800, and again I'm going to pose that there if you want to pause it. As I say, it's a bit of a rarity. It's the first time I've seen it. Saw it and I thought, right, I'll snap that little beauty up. Again, you got the box art illustration on the side, on the other side, and again on this side, and then on the last side you've got all the range of other vehicles that you can get in the Tamiya armour set. Okay, so we're just going to open it up, get the instruction sheet out. I'll get the English interpretation. It's obvious. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? Again, you've got the illustration of the actual vehicle in two photos, one taken at the museum and one taken at the time. Obviously, you've got the history of the vehicle here, as you can see. And at the bottom, if I get the instruction sheet, there's a little colour guide to the figures' uniforms. Okay. First off is, again, both with the gun, the assembly of the machine gun and trolley, and then obviously you've got the wheels for the actual vehicle along with the suspension, and then obviously build up the chassis as you can see there, add the wheels, then obviously work onto the internal part of the actual vehicle where you've got the seats. Add that with the gearbox and drive shaft. Then you add the front radiator onto the bonnet along with the driving column, and then add side plates together, and then put the final parts of the vehicle all together in one go, as you can see there, and then add the figures to the vehicle itself along with the last sub-assemblies. And then to the side you've basically got the sprue trees for the vehicle, and then the other vehicle figures as posed. Okay, and then on the back here obviously you've got one of three versions that you can do. Doesn't actually tell you which units they are, but again you've got a colour guide as to what they are. One that comes, well, they all come in overall dark green or Russian green. Interestingly, the last one has actually got a little line going over the bonnet, or ribbon, which is you have to paint in. And then at the bottom you've got all three versions made up, as you can see there, and they do look super, I have to say. I mean, this vehicle was also used out in Korea, not only in the Second World War, so it went on for quite a while, until around about the late 60s, I think. Right, let's have a look at the sprues. First off, we've got the various subsections of the vehicle itself. You've got the interior, as you can see here. And I think that's the back plate of the car. Not quite sure what those bits are, but maybe that's part of the suspension. And then obviously you've got the bonnet here. Again, it's beautifully moulded, very detailed. Side, I think this must be the side door, I should imagine. Grab handles are there, as you can see here. Steering column, and the actual main dashboard, if I can find it. There's not much to the dashboard, that bit there, as you can see. Steering column, and then you've got the seats, which are beautifully welded. And the thing I do like on it, they've actually caught the fabric of the leather as well. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Beautifully welded there. Beautifully moulded, guys. There's your radiator. And again with the seats, look at the way they've welded the leather on it. Isn't it beautiful? So that will really come out with a nice oil wash. So yeah, that's that bit. Third sprue is the main chassis itself. As you can see here, we've got the drive shaft, etc. on the bottom. And there's your wheel hubs. And then obviously you've got your tyres for the main part of the vehicle, which are nicely caught. Okay, including the spare wheel. And another part of the drive shaft, and then there's the bits for the machine gun, and then you've obviously got the machine gun there. If I get it out the right way, you can have a proper look at it. Where are we? I've lost it now. Oh, there you go. See? Very nicely moulded, isn't it? I mean, for such a small kit, it's beautifully detailed. So, there you go. So, the final sprue, oh, and then you've got the windscreen here, and that is beautifully clearly moulded. I've only got it out of the bag briefly, because obviously I don't want to damage it. And then obviously you've got the headlamps right there as well. So, they look very effective. Very nicely done, guys. And then last but least, you've got the figures right here that go with the vehicle. Okay, again, there's the Russian Major, which you can see there. That's really well moulded. I love his facial features. So there he is, he's sort of directing the driver, as it were. And that's your guy who's towing the machine gun. And there's the last one. So there you go. So that's that one. That's the Gaz. And last but not least, obviously the next one that we're doing is the 3.7cm anti-tank gun, pack 35-36. Now, as I said previously in my last monthly update, the reason I got this kit is because I saw actually somebody do a vignette on it, and I must admit it did look really nice. And you can get the pack 40 as well, which I think I may well do. It's not a bad little kit. You get the figures with it as well. Admittedly, there are no decals with this because obviously it was just plain. But again, it's a familiar white box art. Beautifully painted. I would love to know who the artist is who does these paintings. He really is fantastic. And it would be a good idea to me if he actually bought a book out of the artist who did them and all his illustrations. That would be really nice. I know Airfix did, but if you know the guy who does these, certainly get him to release a book on all his box illustrations. That would be very nice. Anyway, as you can see, you've got the familiar white box art, and then on the side, the kit number, if you want to get hold of this one, is 35035 1000. Again, I will sit it there for you if you want to pause it. Okay, and then you obviously got the familiar white box art on the side, and then on the back you've got the epaulets of all the various regiments and ranks of the officers and gunnery officers, as it were. Okay, and then again you've got the range of other tamiya military armoured vehicles. Actually, I'm interested in getting this SAS one. That looks quite nice. And I just wonder if that one's still available. We will see. Excuse me. Right. Again, this is a side opening box. And I will get the various parts out of it. I think that's it. Yeah. Leave the Japanese instructions out of the way. Again, it's quite a simple little kit. It takes next to no time to assemble, and again on the top you've got the familiar box art of the instructions, and then a history about the actual gun itself and where it was used. And then you've got the posed figures which come with the kit, as you can see here. Again, it's showing you where to put them together and how to pose them. Okay, and then on the back here you've got the assembly of the breech, as you can see there, and then you fit it to the main frame, as it were there. Add the armour cover on the front there with the ammunition packs, as you can see there. Then assemble the tow bar, put the wheels onto the main suspension, the tow bar, and then obviously add the barrel to the main gun. There's your little, I forgot what they call, jerry cans, I think, as well. And not only that, if you've got a spare Hanamag, you can actually assemble it to the top of that and use it on a Hanamag, because they were used on those as mobile units. So there you go. And that is basically the assembly process. It does take literally next to no time. And one added thing is you've actually got a stick bomb, or one of two, that you can add to it if you want to. And there to the side you've got the sprue tree, and then you've got to photograph the assembled kit, which does look very good. And then at the bottom here you've got the various colour guides on how to pose the actual gun. So that, my friends, is those three kits in a nutshell. First off, I'll show you the main sprue with the gun on it, as you can see here. It's quite tiny, there's not a lot to it. I think this was mainly used in the earlier part of the war. Again, you've got the gun shield, which you can see there, and that is well and truly beautifully detailed. Parts of the breech there. There's the wheels, shell casings, and obviously you've got the tow bar right here, which is nicely moulded. And then, as you can see, parts of the breech, which, if I get it into shot, you'll bear with me, guys, I've got it out of shot at the moment. There you go, nicely detailed. Again, that can be nicely weathered up. And there's the alternate of your two stick bombs. Okay, so that is beautifully, again, moulded by Tamiya. So there you go. And then obviously you've got your jerry cans right here. Alright, and then the only other sprue that you've got is obviously your figures again. Again, not bad. I wouldn't say they're the best, but not bad. There's these ammunition packs, as you can see there, and obviously you get guns with it as well, etc. Oh crikey, I'm getting cramp in my hands, sorry guys. As I say, the detail on the figures is not bad. I wouldn't say it's the best compared to the other two figure sets I've just shown you, but I'm sure you could do a lot with them and clean them up quite a bit. So yeah, that's it guys. That, my friends, is basically the models in a nutshell. So I'm just going to pop them back in there. But as I say, you really, I mean, I sourced these through Tim and obviously on eBay. You can get most of these. I don't know about the Gaz. The Pack 36 is still available. I think, well, as you well know, the infantry set is still available. I'm going to put them. And but the Gaz, I'm not quite so sure, because as I say, I've never seen this one before, so it is probably a bit of a rarity. But that's it in a nutshell, guys. That's my 3-in-1 box review for you, so I thought that'd be an extra treat for you. Anyway, leave your comments and subscribe. So until then, get busy on the workbench, guys, and be good, and I'll speak to you soon.